Welcome to this episode of the GymInformer podcast. I'm Chris Gilbert, your host for this episode. And today our guest is Carlo Paredes, the owner of Smash Iron Fitness. From what I can tell, the only powerlifting gym in Las Vegas, Nevada. So before we get started talking to Carlos about his gym and how he decided to open the only powerlifting gym in Las Vegas, let me take a pause and I'll show you the photos I took when I was at the gym. All right, Carlo. First off, let's jump into like your story. Like, how did you become a gym owner? Like, what was going on in your life that you decided, you know what, I'm gonna open a powerlifting gym in the biggest bodybuilding town in America?
Yeah, man. So I never thought that I would own a gym, honestly. I kind of just got led to it. It kind of started when I started personal training back in 2015. I saw some issues at the current gym that I was at. The environment was off. The community was off. There was a lot of businesses within the business, so the people just didn't know what to touch or what to do. I ended up being there for only 6 to 8 months. And I took all my clients out, and I maxed out a credit card, and built a gym in my 2-car garage. At the time, I was actually training for strongman and competing in strongman, so that's why the gym has a lot of that focus. We had 3 to 4 coaches at that time already within my 2-car garage. I got a notice from the HOA. They didn't do anything. They said cease and desist. So I had to move my 2-car garage into a storage unit. From the storage unit, we were there for a little bit, and then I opened up in December of 2017. So and we've become, a strongman and powerlifting focus. I don't know. I knew there was actually other powerlifting gyms besides mine, but I think I'm the only one alive now. Back in the day, I think there was Filthy Power, there was Strong House Project, Iron Addicts had a powerlifting platform on there, but yeah, we just kind of just kept going, and we just attracted a lot of powerlifters and strongmen. So that's where we are now.
Yeah, I think from my research, you're the only one that's survived and like lasted through COVID.
Okay.
At least from what I could tell. If there are other powerlifting gyms out there, feel free to reach out, because maybe we'll get back to Vegas at some point. We'd love to get out and check you out. But we were super happy to have gotten into your gym and checked it out. It was nice. Like, Vegas is a very like bodybuilding heavy town, so it was kind of a little cool to like hit a different kind of gym and a different style of gym.
Awesome. Yeah.
So it seems like the gym's kind of 2 gyms in one. Like you mentioned, it's a strongman gym and a powerlifting gym.
Correct.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about the atmosphere first. I love the atmosphere in like powerlifting gyms. You guys had some really cool murals and kind of a superhero theme and like kind of a badass vibe, but at the same time, it was fairly inviting.
Yep.
It didn't seem intimidating at all. Was that like exactly what you were going for? Or
yeah, exactly it. I kind of wanted an environment where all lifting sports were welcome in one. When I first opened, everything was very niche-y. So you was either specifically bodybuilding, specifically CrossFit, specifically powerlifting, and strongman. People don't even know what strongman was. I was training strongman actually out of a I think it was Sin City CrossFit at the time. But everything was very niche-y, very, very niche-y. So I didn't like that. I wanted all lifting sports in one location. And that's exactly what we have now. We do focus on personal training. So our clients are general population, but they get to be side by side with these with these elite powerlifters and professional strongmen, where they're deadlifting over 700 pounds, where they're walking with 1,000-pound yoke down the turf. So it's like it does change the perspective of a regular general population person to like, man, like that is human potential right there. So what we'd like to say is that if the fish is sick in a tank, you don't treat the fish, you change the tank. And so what I tell people, this is a different tank here. Like you will grow in this tank just by being in here and by communicating with these people, because these people are on a different kind of level. Like their serious level is kind of is turned up. It's not like any other gym.
No, that's super cool. And actually, the morning that I was there pretty early in the morning. And it was mostly, I don't want to say soccer moms, but it was more of like, it was a women's group that was in there and they were getting it hard.
Yep.
But they were more of like your average everyday set of ladies that you don't normally think of. Like that's the lady who works out at a powerlifting gym.
Correct. Yeah. So what day and time did you come?
It was probably 5:30 in the morning and probably a Wednesday.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. So the ladies aren't normally here on Wednesdays.
I don't know for a fact it was a Wednesday. It was
okay.
It might have been Thursday.
Okay.
But.
Yeah. So Kennedy and Cassidy are our group fitness trainers, and they only focus on females. And Kennedy actually came out of a strength gym as well. So she puts strength conditioning. That's her programming is strength conditioning for these ladies. But I mean, as you know, man, like this is what people need. People are meant to be moving things, picking up things. To be better, in the outside world. And we don't really have a lot of machines here. So us as athletes and as trainers, we need to know our movements. Because everything is functional movements. It's squatting. It's squatting solo with no rack. It's all that. So it just builds a different human, honestly.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the equipment, so we'll go there next. You mentioned it's a limited amount of equipment, which obviously it isn't. But from a powerlifting or a strength training gym, you don't really necessarily need a lot of equipment. I thought it was interesting that you chose, with the limited amount of equipment, to have 2 belt squats.
Yep.
So was that something you felt strongly about, like that this kind of a gym really needs? Because you don't see a lot of gyms your size with 2 belt squats.
Yeah, well, that's a funny story. I actually tried to open up a second location, and I had that open for 2 years, but it ended because of just bad partnership. So that is what it is, but I had a belt squat over there. So when I was trying to retrieve some equipment, I brought over the pit shark. So now we have 2 pit sharks. So and it gets used, to be honest with you. Like there's at least somebody on the pit shark at all times, or if not 2 going at the same time. The pit shark for me, that belt squat specifically, is probably my most favorite machine in the whole gym, because not only can you squat with it, you could row with it, you could deadlift with it, and we even got a welder to build us a piece so you can do weighted dips on it. It's a great piece of machine, man.
Yeah, I've even seen people do RDLs on a pit shark. So
Yep.
There's so many different things you can do, just with a little bit of creativity on a belt squat. Super cool.
Correct.
And I, with a pit shark, you rarely go into a gym and see one not in use. So
yeah, the belt squats have I think have increased in popularity. You now see belt squats in big box gyms now. So because they've gained popularity. I do believe that I had the first belt squat in Vegas, to be honest with you.
Oh wow.
And then I started seeing other gym owners get it. Yeah, I mean, we've been here 7 years now, man. So it does feel like yesterday, but we've been here for a little bit now. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say the popularity because everybody. I have 4 pieces of equipment in my home gym, and one of them is a bell squat.
Yeah, it's so
So,
and which one do you have?
I just have the bells of steel one.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. It's more of a light commercial home gym kind of piece.
Yeah.
So, but it works great for my home gym. So,
no, for sure.
I've seen it in commercial gyms though.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's gaining in popularity. I kind of miss the home gym vibe, man. That's when it was the good and easy times. Was the home gyms, home gym days.
Yeah, my wife keeps threatening to like sell all my equipment because I hardly ever work out at home because I'm always in the gym. I love going to the gym, seeing my gym family.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that was obvious at when I was at your gym, even that early in the morning, like there was obviously like a real community there.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that like bodybuilding gyms can really learn from powerlifting gyms is I'm not a CrossFitter. I'm not a fan of CrossFit, but I will take my hat off to them that they do an amazing job of building community. And I think powerlifting gyms are second only to CrossFit gyms on building community.
Yeah.
Are there I'm assuming that's something you set out to do. Are there things that you feel like you're doing as an owner to try to help like create that community or build that community?
Yeah, we actually take very, very, very big pride in our community, man, because like that's our bread and butter, like right when you walk in, it's either you feel the vibe or it might be too intimate for you, honestly. So because everyone kind of knows everyone here, we're very supportive, in what you're doing. We truly care, and for some people it actually is just too much. You're like, man, like why do you guys care so much? But it's just we have built that now. I say this to a lot of people. Anybody can get a loan and spend $100,000 on equipment, but it really takes patience and work to build a community.
Oh, 100%.
And that's what we have here. I put people in front of profits literally till this day, and I will keep doing it. And that's why we have what we have, is because of that. Like people don't feel like there are price tags around here. They really feel like they're part of a family, part of this, part of this gym, part of this everything. And that's something that I've always been striving for. Is I never want someone to feel like a price tag. And we sell high ticket packages here. So and again, we it's all about the experience and transforming your life and just giving value.
Yeah. Well, that's the big difference. Like I always say that like there are gym owners and there are business owners who own gyms. And you can definitely tell a difference when you go into a gym if it's actually a gym owner or if it's a business guy who owns a gym.
Yeah.
There's just such a different vibe and such a different like feeling as soon as you walk in the gym.
No, you're right. I mean, and that's the thing. I'm still learning. I'm still learning as a business owner. Honestly, I'm still learning. This year was a big learning year for me. With finances and things like that. So, but I'm willing to go in the dirt, and learn and fail and whatnot. So, I need to make sure that everyone's on the same page and everyone's happy, and what can I do to make it better, and that's it.
Well, that kind of leads me into my next question. Is we kind of talked a lot about some of the things that you do really well there in your gym. Are there some things, or is there a thing that you feel like I wish I was doing this better as an owner?
Something that I wish I was doing better as an owner. That's a good question. I mean, there's like little knick-knack things, man. Like, I eventually want to hire a specific repair guy, because I do all my repairs myself, but like on top of this, on top of that, on top of this, on top of that, on top, so it's like I wear a lot of hats, and so I would maybe want to like bring on a specific repair guy, and he's handles repairs. Even though I like doing it, it's just something that maybe I need to do. I need to delegate later in maybe next year. I don't know. There's like little knick-knacky things that just get in the way, and I can't immediately put attention on them. Like a shower roller is broken. And it's like, okay, I got to go to the store and Home Depot and find a specific roller to then install it. I mean, it's like, but at this point, it's like I'd rather just not do it,
Mm-hmm.
But it's the small things, honestly. Focusing on the smaller things, but also being able to delegate better. I do have a team, and that's the thing. It's not all me. I do have a team, and I think that's why we've been successful, because it's a team effort. Like I hold most ownership, but doesn't mean that I'm a dictator. Let's work together and for a common good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things I've heard from multiple different gym owners, is that it's really challenging to figure out like how not to do everything, and what to let go of and what not to let go of, and like figuring out like just the balance, like, because there are things that I'm sure as an owner you need to be doing,
Yep.
and things that you can hire someone to do and they can
Yep.
do it just as well or better, but figuring out what those things are, it sounds like it's a huge challenge.
It is. It really is. Like, I mean, there's no one, no one that will do as better job as I will do, honestly. But that's because and so I have to let go of that, and be okay with a job that's 60, 70, 80%, rather than my 100%. So, because I don't, there's not a lot of people that can match my 100%, and so it's letting that go, honestly, and being okay with it, which I've personally had let a lot of things go, because if not, I would drive myself crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm very particular, man. I'm very particular, but you got to choose your battles. You really have to choose your battles. But I'm a personal trainer in here as well, so I'm working in the trenches with these guys. So sometimes that can get in the way of me owning the business as well.
I can imagine.
So, like I said, I wear a lot of hats, man. I got a wife and 3 kids at home. I somewhat manage the smoothie bar that we have here, and on top of that, of everything else that comes with it. The admin things, the members, the whatever else. Yeah, there's just a lot of moving parts, which is fun. I don't know what else I'll be doing, to be honest with you. So
every day is different, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned that you had a second gym for a minute.
Yep.
Which kind of brings me to another question: is what's the future for Smash Iron? Like, are you happy with where you are? Will there ever be a bigger location? Will you ever open a second location again in the future at some point? Is that one of your goals? Like, what's the future hold?
Great question. So the future for Smash Iron Fitness Central, which is this one right here, would be to expand. We do want the building next to us. The sun is sun's blowing right there. But we do want the building next to us, which is next door to the smoothie bar, and that would increase our square footage by 4,000, I believe.
Oh wow!
And so it would make it an official 10,000 square feet. So right now we have 6. So I think 10,000 square feet. I mean, great. I would invest into hammer strength equipment. So I would do like a whole area of hammer strength, because I think that's what we're missing. We're missing the bodybuilders. Even though it is a bodybuilding town, there's a lot of bodybuilding gyms out there, but later, brother. We're just missing that part as a gym, for even for us to hit specific muscles and things like that. So I'm doing that last. And I do want to add another recovery zone. The recovery zone has been great for us. It's an infrared sauna and a cold plunge. But I've learned some things on that. I will never buy an infrared sauna again. I don't recommend it. There's too much moving parts, too much electronics. Actually, right now it's not even infrared anymore. I've installed a stone heater in there, and that's the only thing that's heating it up now. So on my next room, I'm either going full steam or I'm just going just straight up dry, wood sauna. And because it's just the way to go, because the infrared wasn't getting hot for people, and so I had to add a heater in there, and then because I added the heater, it was too hot, and it blew up my tablet in there. So there's just things like that. People love the cold plunge though. Have you done a cold plunge before?
No,
People love it, man. It's a thing right now. So I don't know. Maybe like my next recovery room would be a hot tub and a cold plunge. To kind of change things up. Um, yeah,
I've had
yeah,
multiple gym owners try to get me into their cryo
yeah,
chamber, and I haven't stepped into that one either. So
yeah. Cryo's another one, but so expensive, man.
oh yeah, super
So
expensive.
expensive. I was actually looking into into an oxygen a hyperbolic chamber. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I haven't been in one, but I've seen them.
I mean, they're not that expensive, and the benefits is insane. It's just a pressurized oxygen tank that you're going in. That the oxygen becomes almost liquefied in your body for like increased recovery. Yeah, so I might be considering something like that. I do wanna up our recovery. Maybe instead of making one, maybe make 2 rooms. Make one completely just oxygen, because I think that can be its own thing,
Mhm.
and its own like hyperbaric chamber in there with something like that. I do want to step up the that maybe have an in-house person in-house physical therapist,
Okay, yeah, I've
and
been seeing that a lot.
so they're doing dry needling, they're doing muscle stimulations here in house. uh,
Hmm.
maybe going down that route, maybe having an in-house I think physical therapist would be legit. Kind of going into that route. I do My summer location did have a jiu-jitsu school in it, and so maybe opening up that route again. But I'm right now I'm really happy with the jiu-jitsu school that I'm with, which is Hybrid Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to them, ran by Raquel and Renato Canudo. And so I would maybe partner up with them, but like we're literally down the street, like 5 minutes away. So I don't know if I would open something up that close to
Yeah,
here. So I don't know. But those are kind of my thoughts right now. Eventually down the line, maybe in 5 years, like actually own the building, would be the goal. To be literally like a physical commercial property owner,
right.
um,
Yeah,
would be the ultimate goal. Um, and who knows? But those are just kind of like my immediate like plans for the future for sure.
yeah. No, those are some pretty big goals. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So having been open for 7 years now and weathered COVID and building like this nice powerlifting gym right there in Vegas, um, is there a piece of advice or a couple pieces of advice that you would give to someone who's thinking about opening a gym?
Yeah. I think I got this question like this week as well. I think it's just starting small, man. I think starting small, but just starting would be good.
Hmm.
Have a vision, obviously, and offer something that you feel that there is a need for. The reason that I think that we're successful is because I found a need for something, and I fulfilled it. I built the playground that people were wanting and needing, and hence we are here now. So it's like it's yeah. So it's finding that need and having passion for it. I think just like owning a restaurant, I think the percentage of like profit is like 5 to 10%.
Hmm.
Similar to business, man. It's like this business is. It's like I'm. It's not profits. It's not like profitable. Like at a crazy amount. It's a grind. And owning a gym is tough. So like know what you're getting yourself into. Just an example, brother. Like I've owned this gym for 7 years now, and I haven't really seen any dividends from the business side of it. The only money that I've received has been me physically personal training people and selling packages to these people and maybe getting a commission off of it. But that's about it. Like I haven't really seen dividends from the business yet. But I do see that coming within the next few years for sure. But that's me 7 years in, man. So
yeah.
you know, it's not a business to be rich. You know, like, I mean, I have a lot of things here that are at my disposal. So like I have a smoothie bar that I can go and make my smoothies. I have a recovery zone that I can jump in the plunge and the sauna. I have a gym where I can work out in. Yeah, like all that is benefit and all that is essentially paying me. But you know, that's about it, man. And I mean, the community that you built, the friendships that you built, the family that you built, all that is invaluable. So it really depends on what you see in value. But honestly, it's making sure, like being a nurse, you know, hats off to the nurses, because I've done nurse runs before, and I will never be a nurse because I know what they have to do, and they get paid well, and I won't do that even if I get paid double, you know. So it's like you really have to know, you know, what you want to do and what you want to offer, and just know that you're not going to get paid a lot for it, you know. And you shouldn't really be focused on getting the money. It's honest. It's people before profits, especially with this business, you know. So that's
100%. Yeah,
that's my 2 cents right there for that.
And that's what keeps gyms surviving, is like that kind of attitude, and keeps gyms growing. You know, multiple gym owners have told me, like, you got to be able to put every dollar back into the gym for years in order for it to become something that's worth something.
Correct. You know, like on paper, we're doing good, you know, but it just all goes back right in it, you know, with new equipment, with this and that, you know, with marketing, with, you know, whatever, you know, like the more that we scale, the more that we need. It's like, I don't clean my own gym anymore. I used to, but I pay cleaners for that. I don't clean my turf anymore myself. I pay someone to clean my turf, you know, like, and now with these high ticket packages that we sell, we pay out the trainers, you know. So it's like things like that, you know. It's like if you want to scale, there's going to be more money that you're going to have to invest in, and eventually there'll be a payout. But I'm not expecting that, you know, like where's my money, you know, like,
right. Yeah.
Like I do well for myself. You know, like my wife is a stay-at-home mom, and so, like, you know, I'm grateful, you know, I'm happy, I'm grateful for doing this. And I just signed a lease this year for another 8 more years. So I'm in it, I'm committed. And you know, to be honest, like I said before, I don't know what else I would be doing.
Right.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot of industries, and Litterbruce, yeah, I don't know. I probably will do it again, to be honest with you.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't have any more questions, but before we go, is there anything else you'd like to tell people about Smash?
Yeah, man, we're family owned, family operated. We are a family environment. You know, we would love to come and sit down with you, even if it's just for a free consultation. And we really want to know what and how we can help. All of our consultations are 45 minutes to an hour. We get to know each other. We get to know your goals, and if I can help you, cool. And if I in-house, but if I'm regardless, you're going to be moved and changed by that consultation. It happens every time. You know, it's like sit down with somebody who cares, and you'll actually start going places. So that's my advice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to come on the podcast, and we look forward to seeing what the future holds for you guys.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate this podcast. Thank you for giving me a voice on this. And yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Definitely. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great content.